Now, so we've got 20% excitement in this foam and the 80% boring. Shoe comparison I've got for you guys today, we've got the ASICS Superblast 2 up against the New Balance Supercomp Trainer V3. So we're going to go through their similarities, their differences and their key features, and hopefully from that, that's going to give you guys a great indication of choosing the right shoe for you. But before we get into it, a massive shout out to my #1 running store, the Running Company at Geelong. I've got a link to their website in the description. Make sure you go check out that and check out all their running gear. And also guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So both these shoes are in the Super Trainer category, both neutral running shoes. Now, checking out our quick specs here, now there is a big price mismatch here between the US and Australia with the affordability of the Supercomp Trainer. So in Australia, this one is really expensive. It's more closely matched, obviously, with the Superblast. Now in the weight, Superblast comes in as the lighter shoe. Can you actually feel that on the foot? Well, yes, you can. It certainly feels like the lighter shoe. And in our stacks here, we've got a bigger stack in the Superblast. Can you feel that when you wear these two shoes at the same time? Yep, you can definitely feel that this is the taller stack shoe. And in our uppers here, so two very different feeling uppers. So with our Supercomp Trainer, the material that they use is called Phantom Fit. It's also called Phantom Fit in the SC Elite and the Rebel. However, this material is different. It feels more premium, but it's still very breathable. Pretty solid heel counter, especially down the bottom, but it's got a little bit of play at the top. Medium amount of padding around the heel collar and also on the tongue as well. Now the material that they use just to finish off the inside of this shoe here around the heel collar is amazing. So it feels like a suede material. So again, very premium materials. So back onto the tongue though, the tongue turns into a mesh down the bottom of the tongue, and the tongue is gusseted. Very standard lacing system, so exactly the same as what you're going to find in the Elite and in the Rebel, and the same type of laces as well. I've had no trouble with the lockdown in this shoe. In the fit, true to size in the length, and we've got a pretty roomy toe box as well. Build quality in this shoe looks pretty amazing to me, especially for a New Balance, and the stepping comfort is also really nice. And in the Superblast, so it's an engineered mesh upper, but it looks a lot like a knit, and it's really thick. However, still very breathable. Solid heel counter here, just like the Supercomp Trainer, and a little bit of play at the top. We've got a pull tab here on the heel, which I haven't really had to use. We've got a little bit more padding around the heel collar in comparison to the Supercomp Trainer, but we've got a thinner tongue. Now the tongue is gusseted on this shoe, and there's a couple of pads on top of the tongue to take the laces pressure away. The lockdown in this shoe, no issues at all. In the fit, again in the length, it's true to size, and we've got a pretty voluminous toe box as well, which I quite like. And with our outsoles here, so two pretty different designs. Again, what's going on here, so with the Supercomp Trainer, this design is exactly what they've got in the SC Elite and then also in the Rebel. So pretty much in the entire forefoot is covered by rubber, and in the high wear areas at the rear. Exposed foam in the middle and a huge crevice through the middle of the shoe here. I can get my fingers lost in that with that exposed carbon plate as well. But the rubber compound that they use here, this endurance rubber, is actually quite soft, so it doesn't take anything away from the ride. And now the tread pattern, they use these tiny little diamonds all over the shoe, and it is very effective. So in the grip department, this is excellent. Durability wise, it does show signs of wear quite early, but I don't think it's going to affect performance. Now with the Superblast 2, so the rubber this has got an upgrade, so the rubber that they use on this shoe now is called ASICS Grip. Now you can see the rubber coverage has been quite different on this shoe. It's scattered all around the bottom of the outsole, but it's just in segments. So you don't have one huge piece of rubber anywhere on the shoe, just in the segments where they anticipate the wear of the shoe. And obviously that is not going to constrict this midsole at all. So, but this ASICS rubber, it is the market leader. So it doesn't falter in any conditions. So it's extremely grippy in the wet and in the dry, and it's also got some little lugs on it as well, so it goes all right in the dirt as well. Now, durability wise as well, it's a more durable rubber than the endurance rubber that they use on the SC Trainer. And with our midsole, so both shoes using their brands, premium midsole foams. However, there's caveats, especially with the Supercomp trainer. So yeah, we've got fuel cell, but it is a different formulation to what they use in their premium racing shoe. So this one is a PEBA blend. So 20% PEBA and the rest is the EVA type foam. Now, so we've got 20% excitement in this foam and the 80% boring. That's how I explain it, but we've got two layers of that. So we've got the top layer, and then under that we've got their carbon plate. Now this carbon plate, it's quite different to other ones that you see in the market. It's got ripples in it, so it's not a flat carbon plate or a convex carbon plate. Yeah, it's got these ripples in it and actually makes this carbon plate quite stiff. So yeah, very rigid shoe. And then under that we've got a huge, again, another really big layer of this fuel cell foam. Now, geometry-wise, the Supercomp trainer is famous for their big rocker. I know the V1 and the V2 had these really early stage rockers that were quite aggressive. It's been tweaked on this shoe, and it certainly aligns now with the marathon racing shoe, so the SC Elite. So it doesn't feel as early as it used to be, so I think it's come forward and it's not as noticeable as it used to be in the previous versions. Now with our Superblast, they have got their premium race day foam in this, so it's not a blend, it's FF Turbo Plus, and that's the same foam that they use, yeah, in their premium race day shoes. So huge slab of that under the shoe. They don't have a carbon plate in this shoe, so no plate at all, but it's still a pretty rigid shoe. Obviously not near as rigid as the Supercomp trainer with the plate. And then under their super foam, they have just got a little smidge of FF Blast Plus foam. So very simple design in this shoe, no plate, just a big slab of super foam, a little bit of FF Blast at the bottom. And now geometry-wise, they have got, it is a 4-foot rocker, but it feels a little bit more traditional to me compared to the Supercomp trainer. And it could be because the Supercomp trainer has got a plate in it, so it makes the rocker more noticeably. But when you hold these two shoes side by side and look at the geometry of the shoe, the rockers look pretty similar to me. And in our ride, so these two shoes couldn't feel any more different. So with the Supercomp trainer, so this is soft. This foam is soft and squishy. So especially through the rear of the shoe with these really big, deep cavities in the shoe. So when you run in this shoe, yeah, you really sink into the rear. It does firm up through the middle of the shoe as you come through the foot strike, and it firms up a little bit more through the forefoot, but it's still got a bit of squish in the forefoot, and then you roll onto the rocker and away you go. But in the bounce department, there is a bit of bounce there and energy return, but it's really slow. Like it's a bit of a weird sensation. So it feels a bit sluggish because you do sink in, but the rebound is just really slow. So it feels like that you're just sort of waiting for the shoe to bounce you back up, but it just takes its time because your foot wants to keep going. So yeah, I haven't felt that sensation in a shoe before. This shoe's lucky it's got a carbon plate in it, or it'd feel like that you're really digging your feet, or you're trying to run through sand, or that's sort of the feeling that I'm getting. So yeah, very lucky to have this carbon plate and this rocker to keep the feet going. So saying that, it didn't feel like the most efficient shoe because I did take this one out on almost a 3-hour run. Although it's a super comfortable ride, yeah, it just felt like I was just working a bit too hard to get the foot to go on to the next foot strike. Although the stats didn't say that on the watch that I was working a bit harder, it just felt like that. Yeah, I just felt like there wasn't enough, or the rebound just wasn't fast enough for what I was looking for in my long run shoe. And in the Superblast 2, so this one is a much firmer ride in comparison to the Supercomp trainer. So you don't get, for me, I don't sink into this foam pretty much at all. So yeah, it's quite a responsive foam. So I sink into it a little bit, but then it's a really quick rebound and I'm out. So my overall feeling of this shoe is, yeah, it's responsive. So, and it's extremely consistent ride as well. So I don't really feel like the foam breaks down on the run either. So I've had this shoe now, I've clocked up over 100 kilometers in this shoe, and it hasn't really changed out of the box. So this foam hasn't really changed much. So it's still on the firmer and responsive side. Yeah, there's a little bit of bounce and a bit of pop, but I don't think I'm heavy enough to actually get in and get the most out of this shoe. But yeah, it's a very stable ride, really wide platform here, so you're not rolling over in this shoe. And then our rocker, so the rocker feeling is certainly mild in this shoe. It's certainly more noticeable in the Super Comp Trainer, but yeah, you can still feel it in this shoe. On the long run though, this shoe certainly feels more efficient than the Super Comp Trainer. So you definitely feel like you can tick the legs over easily in this one. However, the firmness of this shoe sort of gets to me after the 2 hour mark. So I'm sort of yearning for something a little softer than the Superblast after those huge runs. So best shoes for both these shoes is exactly what they've been designed for. So they're both built to go long. However, they achieve that in very different ways. So that also makes them suitable for other types of runs. So apart from the long run, I think this shoe is also great for your daily trainer. It's going to last a very long time. And also if you've got a little bit of speed mixed into your long run, this is a great option for that. Now with our Super Comp Trainer, this one is made to go long. However, this one is not designed for your speed sessions. This one is just going to save your legs and just tick the legs over. And it's also going to be a great shoe for your recovery days. So both these Super Trainers are pretty solid options to have in any rotation. It's just going to come down to what you guys prefer in your running shoe. As I said, they both offer very different experiences. It's just going to come down to what you prefer. And again, if you're a bit of a heavier guy, I'd go for the Superblast. And if you're someone pretty lighter and you like a softer ride, then I'd go for the Super Comp Trainer. So, but for my experience, how I rate both these two long run shoes, well, I think the Superblast for me, it's okay up to 2 hours for me, but then it gets a little bit too firm. But I really appreciate the efficiency in this shoe. And the Super Comp Trainer, it just feels like I like the softness, I like the comfort. However, it's just a little bit too sluggish for me and it doesn't feel efficient enough on a long run. So my perfect long run shoe is probably these two shoes. Somewhere, they need to meet in the middle somewhere, and I'd like a long run shoe like that. But anyway, guys, that is it from me. I hope you liked that one. Any questions regarding these two shoes or anything I missed, please just drop that in the comments below. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.